Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kel from Kel Talks Chelsea. Welcome to my platform. I hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday and it's treating you well. Before I get started, guys, give us a like. Put a bit of work in to making these videos. I would really appreciate you pressing that like button. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cost you anything. So please help me out, help my platform out. Put a smile on this fizzog. Also, subscribe if you wish to. I think I'm on 74 or 75 subscribers at the moment. It may not seem much to many, but it's work in progress. I'm trying to get there. We all start small. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to build up. I'm slowly and surely getting there. Help me get to my first 100 subscribers. And then I can sort of smash it on from thereafter. The bigger I get, the better I get, the better stuff I can give you. Also, please add your comment or comments, especially to this video, because this video's a little bit more fun, a little bit more relaxed, and I'll go into as to why I'm doing this. So yeah, please like, subscribe, add your comments, feel free, more the merrier. Today, we know Chelsea are going for a real bad time. To all neutral fans out there or opposition fans out there, they're probably laughing their tits off at us right now. And probably if it was the other way round with other clubs, we'd probably be doing the same. But my precious club, and the other proper loyal Chelsea fans out there, your precious club is right in the sewer. We know why it's in the sewer. I think 2 words: Blue Co, Clear Lake. That's all you really need to say. That says it all. So we're going for a real pants time. Moods are really low. We're sort of in the gutter, aren't we? So in life, when things are a bit pants, well, I'll say a bit pants, that's an understatement. When things are in a shocking state, and all out there doesn't seem good at all, you need a little pick-me-up. You just need something to re-energise and get you through, especially when you know that vile, disgraceful stuff is not going to go away anytime soon. So to stop us sort of going mad, to stop us sort of falling into the gutter, just now and then, we need to put a smile on our faces and have a giggle, liven ourselves up a little bit before we get hit with more bad nonsense and waffle. So this is my little bit of fun for today, just to break up all the turmoil going on in my head and in my emotions through my football team. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to split it into 2 parts. I'm going to do between when I was born and until 2020, between when I was born and until 2003, I'm going to do a list of, they'll either be my favourite players or who I think were the best players within that time frame, in all different manners of positions. I'm going to do goalkeepers, I'm going to do left backs, right backs, centre backs, midfielders, left wings, right wings, and strikers. But that is going to be in part 2. That's going to be the old school, who I think are my favourites or the best players in those particular positions. Today, what I'm going to do is from 2003 to the present day. Basically, when Roman Abramovich came in, rebuilt the club into an elite level until now, where we're in the quagmire, sinking into quicksand. Again, I'm going to pick 3 goalkeepers within that time frame, 3 right backs, 3 left backs. I'm going to do 4 centre backs because that sort of covers left and right of centre back, doesn't it? I'm going to do 4 midfielders because that can be right across the board there. That's more players to think of. 3 left wingers, 3 right wingers, and 3 strikers. Some of these particular positions will be tougher than others to think of even a really, really good three or a favourite three. Some are going to be much easier. Some are going to be filled in with some players who can play in all different positions. They could play centrally, they could play right side, they could play left side. But then you've still got to try and fit in as many different players as possible. So you may think I've got some players out of position. Even if you think that, some of those players would have played at some stage in that position. And I'm trying to fill spaces and trying to get some of the better players in, if you know what I mean. So today, yeah, it's going to be players from that we've had or bought since 2003 till the present day. Part 2, I don't know when that will come out, will be from the very early 70s until 2003, just before Roman came in. So today, let's start with the goalkeepers. Now, this first name I'm going to bring out, that might raise a few eyebrows. But goalkeepers. The third one, I'm going to go for, don't laugh, Edouard Mendy. Now, again, that's just in the last 23 years. And the reason why I've got him in at number 3 is basically because we've had a lot worse goalkeepers during that time. And this guy, for a season, maybe to 2 seasons, was really good. In one particular season, the 2021 season, overall, he was extremely good. But he's in here mainly for our Champions League winning run, where he was sensational. He was exceptional. I think he holds the record of the least amount of goals conceded in a Champions League run through to the final. Was it 4 goals? Something crazy like that. Unbelievable statistics. So basically, for that alone, I think he deserves to be the 3rd best on my list in that time frame. My number 2, again, might raise some eyebrows, but again, they're sort of just my favourites as well as what I think are worthy of being in those top 3. Carlo Cudicini. Before a certain other goalkeeper came in and took the reins as number 1, this guy came in 2000, stayed to us till 2009. 216 appearances, 101 clean sheets. So for him, that's almost 50%. Not far off 50%. 45, 47% of his games were clean sheets. And he was overall pretty fantastic. We were already turning into a really good side. And again, until a certain other goalkeeper came in, this guy was mustard. He gave us 9 years service. His clean sheet record is fantastic. And he wasn't the tallest of goalkeepers, but I thought he was mustard overall. Carlo Cudicini's number 2. Number 1, it's not going to be hard to guess who it is it? In my view, and it's not just being a blue-eyed, blue sunglass tinted biased Chelsea supporter. I'm just going through stats and facts. Petr Cech, for me, he's not just Chelsea's best goalkeeper in the modern era. I think he's the best goalkeeper overall at Chelsea Football Club. And I think he is the best goalkeeper the Premier League has ever seen. Certain people will argue that's your opinion. This is my opinion. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Like I can't tell you you're wrong with your choices. You can sort of say, well, I think this and I think that. Not, you're wrong. You're out of order. How can you say that? Well, I can say it because I've seen him with my own eyes hundreds of times play football, whether it's at grounds or on the TV. Petr Cech came in 2004, played till 2015, 494 appearances, 228 clean sheets. Wow. Those stats don't lie, do they? Brilliant goalkeeper. So, there's my goalkeepers. You could give out shout-outs. Not all good shout-outs. Some are bad shout-outs and some are okay. Thibaut Courtois. Rat. Kepa Arrizabalaga. Don't really want to say anything there. Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen. Oh dear, where are we going here? Hilario. Willie Caballero. Rob Green, who I don't even think had an appearance. Begovic, I think that's another one you can throw in there. Yeah. Most of those names aren't even worth wasting your breath on. Thank God for Petr Cech, Kudicini and Mendy, eh? Right backs. Let's go to right backs. In third spot, a guy who made 377 appearances, scored 34 goals and some very important goals. 2008 to 2017, he played for us. This guy, tough. You wouldn't want to get in a boxing ring with him. Branislav Ivanovic. Again, this is from 2003 to the present day. Branislav Ivanovic. Mustard. Slowed down a bit in his last couple of seasons. Getting old. It happens to us all. But overall, fantastic servant. I think there's only two people that can really beat him knock him into third space, but we'll get to those, and it's a tight one. Could be controversial. Could be very controversial. Don't throw any spears at me, all right? So, number 2 and number 1, I don't know what order to put them in for certain reasons. But I'm going to be controversial, probably. I'm going to put Reece James as number 2. All right, put those spears down. All right, put those daggers down. Put those axes down. Reece James in number 2. On his day, world class. Problem is, he's made of biscuits. He's got cheese strings for hamstrings. Probably missed at least half his career so far. If he could have stayed fit, he'd be way ahead, I think, because his overall game is just absolute mint. But his injury record is appalling. So for me, even though he's Chelsea skipper, even though he was smiling and laughing after the match yesterday, after getting beat and the club being in this state and annoying a few fans, and rightly so, yeah, he goes into number 2. Appearances and goals are a little bit inconclusive. I've been looking online, and I've been looking online for all the stats. So if you disagree with all my stats, don't blame me. Blame Wikipedia and all the other sites with appearances, goals, assists, and all that stuff, right? So yeah, Reece James, number 2, modern era. He's got to be in the top 3, I think. Number 1, Dave. Dave never gave you less than about 7 out of 10, did the guy? You know, obviously plenty of other games he got a better score than that. Mr. Reliable. Again, he slowed down a bit in his last couple of seasons. But just have a look at it. 2012 he came in. Champions League winners. He came and joined the Champions League winners. No sign of that now. Until 2023. 11 years. 508 appearances. 34 goals. Not bad for a right back. But skipper for many years. As I say, Mr. Reliable. Didn't have a bad injury record. Pretty good in regards to injuries. So I think in the modern era, you look at everything, I think he just pips Reece James right now. Reece James has still probably got 5 years, 6 years maybe at the top. If his body holds out, maybe he can overturn that. But I think right now, considering everything, Cesar Azpilicueta, aka Dave, number 1 for me. Some shout outs here. Paulo Ferreira was a great servant. Mario Melchiot, give us 5 years, scored that great goal against Liverpool that got us into our first Champions League campaign. We got 2 Marios. You remember that one? Albert Ferrer, great little Spanish right back. Jose Bisingua, hit and miss. Malo Gusto. Why am I even mentioning his name? Glenn Johnson, David Zappacosta. Just some names thrown out there. If you can think any more, that'll be brilliant. So that's the right backs. Let's go on to left backs. Again, this one's a bit scratchy, very scratchy. And maybe 1 or 2 controversial ones with you guys out there. But obviously, if you've got a difference of opinion, put it down. Don't be nasty about it. Be friendly about it. Agree to disagree, and let's just have a giggle. That's what we want. The third one, some people might say he was more of a centre-back. Well, not really. He could play centre-back, and he was also very good at centre-back. But at the time, there were two other centre-backs that were better than him, and he was pushed a lot of the time out onto the left-hand side. And some people go, oh no, he's a Judas, he's a traitor. He went and played for this club and that club. But I'm putting, and this is going way back, William Gallas as number 3. I thought he was excellent for us. Doesn't matter what he did for other people. For us, he was excellent. And he was there when we were going from a good side into an elite side. And he was there when we started winning Premier Leagues, especially under the main man, Jose Mourinho, the Messiah. William Gallas, 2001-2006, 225 appearances, 14 goals. Anyone remember that screamer from outside the box against Tottenham? Oh, the scenes after that. I was there that game. Yeah, the atmosphere was absolutely mental. And he come running over to the dugout and all that with Mourinho and everybody else against the Spuds. I think for that goal alone, he should be in there. What a goal. But yeah, William Gallas. Number 2. Might be a bit more controversial again. Again, this is a scratchy one for 2 of the 3 of left backs. I think number 1 is going to be obvious, didn't you? Now this guy with us between 2016 and 2022, 212 appearances, 29 goals, and I'm going to give you the assists because they're a fair decent number for well, this guy played more as a wing back than a full back, than a left back. And 23 assists here. Wasn't the greatest at defending, but boy, he caused problems when he went forward. You couldn't knock him, and he did like scoring the odd goal against Arsenal. And this is Marcos Alonso. Again, there's 1 or 2 other names you could throw in there, but for certain reasons, his stats, again, not the greatest at defending, but holding it in the middle and going forward, you couldn't really ask for better. Marcos Alonso. There you go. Number 1, Ashley Cole. Not just the best left back at Chelsea in the modern era, the best left back at Chelsea ever, the best left back in the Premier League. Some might say he's the best left back ever. I probably wouldn't go that far. But would I put him in the top 5 left backs ever? Probably. Ashley Cole. 2006 to 2014, 338 appearances, only 7 goals. Wasn't known for his goals, he was known for his defending, and for that period there was no one better in the world. And the fact he's admitted he preferred his time at Chelsea than Arsenal just makes it even sweeter, doesn't it? So Ashley Cole, number 1, my favourite as well. Again, it's not just who I think's the best, my favourites. Let's go to centre-backs. This one might be a bit more clear-cut. Again, some people might disagree, but that's up to you. I've got 4 here. Gary Cahill, number 4. 2012 to 2019. 290 appearances, 25 goals, and some really important goals in that time as well. Don't forget he played in our Champions League win in 2012 with an injury. Him and David Luiz, both carrying injuries. Trojans, a legend in his own right. I think we got him from Bolton, but yeah, I think he deserves to be in. This is just the modern era, right? Since 2003, Gary Cahill, number 4. Now, this guy, number 3, 2020 to 2024, 151 appearances, and I think it's only 8 goals he scored. Again, he's only a defender, but just pure class, experience, knowledge, timing, just leadership, just respect. He's not just I think a Chelsea legend. I think he's a worldwide legend. He is a Brazilian legend. Yeah, only 4 years, but Thiago Silva. I think he deserves to be in the top 4 centre backs of the modern era. Number 2. This is going back a little bit further. 2004 to 2010. 210 appearances, 11 goals. Now, this guy was the first major partner, the first major partner, not the first partner, but where a partnership really clicked. And this guy and another guy, who I think we all know it's going to be at number 1, still hold the record for the least amount of goals scored in the Premier League season at 15. For me, number 2, I thought he was a great player anyway. Very good on the ball, very good at reading the ball, reading the game, very good positionally, great in the air, because he weren't the most tallest of defenders. Just inspirational, energetic, and a great partner for number 1. Ricardo Carvalho. I loved him, and I thought he was an excellent player. So for me, modern era, Ricardo Carvalho at number 2. Number 1, skipper elite. The legend is John Terry. Absolute legend. 1998 to 2017, 717 appearances, 67 goals. I think he is the highest goal scoring defender ever in Premier League history. I don't know about the history of the top league of English football, but the Premier League, bosh, class. An ambassador of Chelsea, an ambassador to us fans. He's basically a god at the club. John Terry, number 1. Just immense, elite, world class, top dollar, creme de la creme. In my mind, and it's, some people will argue, but it's your opinion. This is my opinion. The best centre back ever in the Premier League. There we go. I've said it. Shoot me down. Other shout outs. Some good, some not so good. Antonio Rudiger, David Luiz, Kurt Zuma, the cat kicker. Who else we got? Andreas Christensen. Oh, I want to shit my pants before every game. Badia Shield. This is the real dog list, this one. I've even got brackets around these few names. Badia Shield, Disassi, Tosin, Wesley Fofana. That is the proper bin list, isn't it? And I've just stuck Levi Colwill on the end because he's a possible Chelsea star of the future. We'll see how he comes back from this ACL injury he suffered. Trust me, I know all about them. I've had them myself. So there you go. I didn't give any shout outs for the left backs, did I? Let's just backtrack a minute. Wayne Bridge, Ben Chilwell, Mark Cucurella, Philip Luiz, Ryan Bertrand, Patrick Van Aanholt. Do you remember him? Young Dutch kid. That's just a few. Anyway, let's go on to midfield. Again, there's a plethora of choices. There's a plethora. I can only get 4. All right. Again, my favourites, stroke who I think may be the best. It's debatable. The fourth one, 2016 to 2023. 269 appearances. I'm quite surprised by this. I didn't realise it was this many. 13 goals. I've had to throw N'Golo Kante in there. I think, I mean, people call him a DM, but whenever he got the ball and he started moving forward, he looked like a winger at times. He's just so smooth with the ball at his feet. Very surprising. But sort of more known as a holding defensive midfielder. So N'Golo Kante there at 4. And these aren't all in sort of preferred order. It's just there, you know. Number 3, 2014 to 2019, 198 appearances, 22 goals, 57 assists. Now, this guy was known for his passing ability, his creating ability, his awareness. He's just... Well, his assists throughout his career are outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. But 198 appearances, only 22 goals for us. But just in those few years, 57 assists. Can't argue with that. And that is Cesc Fabregas. I think, again, another player that said he enjoyed his time more at Chelsea than Arsenal. I'm not sure about Barcelona, but I'm sure he's got more preferences with his time at Chelsea than with the Gooners. So yeah, Cesc Fabregas. My number 2, it's going back a little bit more. 2005 to 2014. 256 appearances, 25 goals. Again, he was more of a holding midfielder, but he was an engine. He was solid, solid. Unfortunately, injuries, and I think one injury in particular, which kept on sort of reoccurring, hindered his career somewhat, hindered his time at Chelsea. He was of excellent quality, but I think he could still have gone another step up if it hadn't been for some dreadful injuries as well. Now, this guy scored one of the best goals ever scored at Stamford Bridge. You remember that volley from outside the box, hit the crossbar, bounced over the line and then up into the top of the net? That game where we were cheated of 4 penalties. Let's just say a very, very, very dodgy referee screwed us over, and everybody knows as well. Diabolical. Was it Drogba said? It's an effing disgrace. Numerous times, got in trouble for that. But this guy, nicknamed the Bison. Have you got it? For me, Michael Essien. Before his injury woes, he was a monster. He was an animal, and he was class on and off the ball. An engine, just a proper engine. Loved watching him. Absolutely loved watching him. And the fact, my mum, God rest her soul, God rest her beautiful soul, as well as once having a chat with Gianluca Vialli and getting kissed on the forehead after the chat, and he called my mum a beautiful woman. This guy, Michael Essien, after a game in the car park, had a chat with my mum, again very polite, just very gentle and sweet, and gave my mum a really nice hug. And I remember my mum turning around and said, well, the only one that's ever given me a better hug than that, son, is you. Nice compliment to me. So he gave my mum a beautiful hug. Lovely man. So yeah, number 1, Super Frankie Lampard. It can only be Super Frankie Lampard, can't it? So, and he's there. It's obvious, isn't it? Again, these stats are from online. So don't shoot the messenger, right? 2001 to 2014. So you give us a lot of time. 648 appearances, it says here. And this stat is just unbelievable. The highest scoring midfielder. And we're not including wingers here. We're just midfielders, right? Between an 8 and a 10. 211 goals. Holds the record for a midfielder. Class. He's way ahead. Leaps and bounds ahead. And for me, when you talk about the discussion with Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, well, it's very difficult to compare. I mean, you get the Scousers, the bin dippers going for Gerrard all the time. You get the Manx going for Scholes all the time. Obviously, Chelsea fans will go for Lampard all the time. But I think it's a very difficult group to compare. I think there are other players you could throw in there with each of these players to compare them more fairly, because each of these players are better at something than the other, and each of these players have got something better in their locker than the others. You know, something's worse. They're not all exactly the same type of midfielder. So I think it's very difficult. I mean, overall, I would go for Frank Lampard. One, he's a Chelsea player. He's a Chelsea legend. But I go with the assists, the goals. Goals win games. So for me, it's Frankie Lampard. But 211 goals in his career just for Chelsea. Absolutely amazing. Top dog. Right, other shout-outs for this time frame. John Mikel Obi, or John Obi Mikel, depends which way you want to say that. Michael Ballack, Claude Makelele, Ramirez, Nemanja Matic, Juan Mata, Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez at the minute, Jorginho, Mason Mount, throw him in there, why not? He won a Champions League with us. Conor Gallagher, the same. Oscar, there's all these sort of normalish sort of midfielders, whether you're a holding defender, an 8 or a 10 or something. There's a plethora. What are your choices? Right, let's go on to the left wing. Again, I might just be trying to fit these players in and where they sort of whether they're left-footed, right-footed, whether they prefer to play on the left or the right, etc., etc. Again, you might disagree, but I'm going for entertainment value with these three. Just watching them. A couple of them haven't really got the greatest of stats, but it's just sitting there sometimes in the stands, just watching these guys with the ball at their feet. They're the sort of players that get the bums off seats, you know. And this is just for the left side. You could even cry one or two playing on the right, because a couple of these did switch from side to side. Number 3, I'm going way back. 2003 to 2006, 125 appearances, 19 goals. In his time, I just loved watching him run with the ball and take people on. I think we got him from Blackburn. Damien Duff. You may disagree, but this one's my choice. All right. Number 2, 2004 to 2007, 106 appearances, 19 goals. Was blighted again with a couple of really horrible injuries. One of them he suffered and he was out for some fair time. I think it was away to Blackburn. I don't know who the player was. Proper took him out, done him dirty, proper done him dirty. And he wasn't quite the same player for us again after that particular incident, but did have some others. I think he busted his metatarsal and he had some other injuries. But the second one I got here is Arjen Robben. Just washing the guy. Whether I was sitting, well, in the Matthew Harding upper, lower, in the East Stand upper, East Stand lower, in the Shed End, in the West Stand lower upper, wherever it was, right? I just loved watching this guy. He's sort of skippy legs and the way he's just so quick. Scored some cracking goals. I mean, he didn't get a lot of goals, but a lot of his goals were absolutely out of this world. So Arjen Robben, number 2. Number 1, this guy, you could have him more in the middle. He sort of just floated wherever he wanted. He just did whatever he did. Like JT and some of the other guys have said, he was a lazy trainer. But you just knew when he put on his boots on match day, he was going to do the stuff for you. And I think John Terry said about this guy, he's the only one in the team that had the rest of the team working their asses off for him, so he didn't have to. This particular guy, Mourinho, just wanted him to do his stuff where he was best doing it. So he wanted more out the rest of the players to cover him. And it's Eden Hazard. Just absolutely one of the most amazing people just to watch, running with the ball, taking people on. And some of his goals are just out of this world. I just love the bloke. Yes, he did go off to Real Madrid and all that. And his career was ended short just through injuries, and thankfully he didn't have too many injuries with us. I mean, obviously he had injuries, but not sort of really long spells season after season. Pretty fit considering he was a lazy trainer. But yeah, it didn't end well for him in his career. He decided to retire early, but I think his body had just taken too many whacks, to be honest. But Eden Hazard, just again, legends. There's legends all over the shop here. Let's go on to the right wing. Again, I'm sort of scratching with right wingers. We've had some real crappy ones. We've had some, okay, I mean, a couple of these you'll think, yeah, they was all right, but they weren't elite. I'm not saying they were elite. I just like watching them. And there were moments in their careers with Chelsea that put massive smiles on my face. This third one, 2015 to 2020, 206 appearances, 43 goals. We got him from Barcelona. Any guesses? Now, we've got Pedro Neto. Now, we've got João Pedro. Now, well, this guy's another Pedro. Pedro Ledesma. We got from Barcelona in 2015. I think he gave us 5 pretty good years. And when he was on it, he was just technically gifted. He's just an intelligent thinker, and he scored some cracking goals. I loved his smile. I loved his aura. It was just a really nice guy to watch play. So Pedro Ledesma, what a good player. Number 2 is a Brazilian. 2013 to 2020, 339 appearances, 63 goals. Now, there were times when he was a bit inconsistent, but I think what made it worse for him was we knew exactly what he had in his locker, and it was immense talent. But sometimes he just wasn't always consistent. But this is the original, not Esteval Willian, just Willian. I'm not going to go into his full name because a bit of a mouthful. You remember Willian? Yeah, sort of ended up going to Arsenal, and Agent Willian messed him up a bit, didn't he? So love him. But Willian, I loved watching him. And for a while, my eldest son, who's 21 now, back then when this guy was playing for us, was actually my eldest boy's, not my youngest, my eldest boy's favourite player. So William, number 2. You may have others. Number 1, again, it might be a little bit controversial. He's a TV pundit now, so there's a clue. And he has called out Blueco and Clear Lake quite a few times, which I like. And he's a character. Cheeky, cocky little fella. 2003 to 2010, 282 appearances, 39 goals. People say, oh, he's not really a right winger. Again, I'm just trying to fit certain players in where I can that have actually played some games or a certain amount of games in that position. He's played as a 10. He's played out on the left. He's played on the right. Just fitting him in. Joe Cole. Just some of the things he did just blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. At the club at a brilliant time. Mourinho loved him. Helped win us a couple of Premier Leagues and FA Cups, and he was just a magician, just an absolute magician. Cheeky, charming little sausage. That's what he was. I loved him. So I'm going Joe Cole. Just love the bloke. Other mentions you could have: Salomon Kalou, Esteval Willian, Pedro Neto, Noni Madueke, Victor Moses. Give him a shout. Did well, didn't he, under Conte? Raheem Sterling, I know he played on the left a bit, but he did play on the right for a fair bit of his career as well. So there's just some shout outs. I'm not saying which ones are good and which ones are crap, by the way, with those. Should we go to the strikers? I've got 3 strikers. I got 2 straight away, and I was looking at this list. Over the last 23 years, we've had a lot of deadwood in regards to strikers. We've had a lot of promising players. We've had a lot of elite players coming in and not really cutting it with us either. So I got 2 straight away. The third one I really had to sort of think, and it is a bit scratchy. But I'm just sort of comparing what he gave to the team as a whole compared to some of the others. Now, before I go for my 3, should I just go through the AN others, the shout outs? Again, some of them I won't even waste my spit on. Some of them did okay. Some came with a lot of promise and with a big name, and just, I don't know, it just fell flat. And some did just, yeah, okay. Some shout outs. Falcao, whatever you're going to pronounce it. This next one, I'll give you a clue. Have you guessed it? Adrian Mutu. You remember that guy? He came with a lot of promise. Yeah, copious amounts of Charlie in his system. This guy started off really well and then just fell flat, and he's been a traveller. I mean, I call him a bit of a gypsy, a bit of a pikey, because he's just he travels everywhere. He's been in so many clubs, and I don't know why, because there's been a good player in him, but he just, I don't know if it's attitude or what. There's just something there. Alvaro Morata started off well, and he just fell flat. This one, cement-booted rat. Do I even need to mention his name? Romelu Lukaku. Ugh. Rat. I think bigger rat than Courtois. Shevchenko. Torres. Crespo. Barr. Sturridge. The offside merchant, Werner, Havertz, João Pedro, current one, he's doing all right. You know, he's just surrounded by a very average to poor squad, isn't he? And Liam de Crap, let's throw him in there just so I can diss his name, de Crap. So let's get on to my three. Don't shoot me for this one. But it's tough. It's just tough. I'm going to have to. I had to go for Olivier Giroud. Just the way he held the ball up and he brought everyone else into play. 2018 to 2021, 119 appearances, 30 goals. It's basically 1 goal in 3. I think he did slightly better job overall. Just the way he got the rest of the team involved in the attack. Very good in the air, as I say, very good at holding up the ball, laying it off, setting the attacks up and stuff. So I'm left with him. Number 2, I have to go for this guy at number 2. 2014 to 2017, 120 appearances, 58 goals. That's pretty much 50%, 49 point whatever percent goals per game ratio. Proper shithousery. One of the most shithousery buggers we've ever had. He proper wound people up. He got people booked, sent off, left, right and centre. He was so good at doing all the dirty stuff and then playing the victim afterwards and getting away with it. He looked like a caveman. I think he still does look like a caveman, like a Neanderthal. But just looking at him, you wouldn't want to pick a fight with a geezer. He just looks like a proper animal. But behind the scenes, apparently he was a joker and a very nice, decent guy. Again, he was 2 different people. He was the nice fella off the pitch, but as soon as he crossed that white line, every defender knew they were going to have a bloody hard day. And I just love this guy, and he scored some very good goals. And that is Diego Costa. Absolute class. These shit ass, oh, brilliant. I do actually think he got shafted a bit by Conte. Here, Costa and Conte fell out. Obviously, Conte being the gaffer carried the weight in that argument. And because of Conte, we lost an elite striker. Thank you, Conte. Number 1. Come on. Do I really need to say the geezer's name? I think we all know in the last 23 years, since 2003, this guy came to us in 2004 until 2012. Then came back for another season in the 14-15 season because we were struggling with strikers and that, and helped us out. 381 appearances, 164 goals, including some of the goals that have been the most important in Chelsea's history. And just look at all the goals he scored in cup finals. He just loved scoring in cup finals. Big games. This guy was a big game merchant. The bigger, better the opposition, the more of him you got. He was a presence in the dressing room, a presence on the pitch. Again, he was a defender's nightmare. Big, strong, athletic, fast, powerful. Could head the ball, could shoot the ball, could control the ball, could lay the ball off, could just bring other people into the game. He was just amazing, just a colossus. That goal in the last couple of minutes against Bayern at the Allianz, that alone, that winning penalty in the penalty shootout in that Champions League final. We won't mention the penalty he gave away in extra time though. But all the other cup goals, and just he loved banging in a goal against the Spuds, loved banging in a goal against the Gooners. Arsenal especially hated him, absolutely hated him. But King Didier Drogba, in the modern era, best striker that's ever played for Chelsea. Some may even say full stop. But there we go. That's my list of favourite, and some of them what I think are the best players since Roman Abramovich came in and left, which is the last 23 years. This is the first half. I'm going to do a second half, and it's going to basically be players in the 70s. Yes, I go back that far. 80s, 90s, and between 2000 and 2003 before Abramovich came in. Again, it's going to be the same setup. 3 goalkeepers, 3 right backs, 3 left backs, 4 CBs, 4 midfielders, 3 left wingers, 3 right wingers, and 3 strikers. And there will be some sort of shout outs with other names, because obviously Chelsea's 121 years old. That's freaking hundreds, maybe even thousands of players you could go through. So thank you for joining me on this one. It's just a little bit more light-hearted. Over the next couple of days, I will do part 2, the old school, from when I was a very young man. And when I first started going to Chelsea, I think my first game was actually in 1978. Quite young. But I'm gonna go from 1970 onwards. You know, when we beat Dirty Leeds in the cup final, and then 71, the Cup Winners' Cup against Real Madrid. So please join me on that, as you have done on this one. Again, leave your comments, what you disagree with, what you agree with, but do it politely, do it nicely, do it in a friendly fashion, because that's what it is. It's just a laugh. Like and subscribe, be much appreciated. There we go. And as usual, I'm going to check the news today to see what sort of PR nonsense has been floating about. How many brown envelopes have been dished out to the media? What crap Blueco and Clear Lake want to share us with, you know, or share with us, should I say. Excuse my English, that was terrible, wasn't it? You wouldn't have thought I got about 8 O-levels or GCSEs, would you? Christ. But there we go. Join me next time, whether it's transfer nonsense or part 2 of my little fun and games here. It's just nice to get away from the crap for a couple of hours, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to try and do more stuff like this, just to break the that hard, nasty, sharp, cold ice that we've been surrounded with recently. Yeah, any more suggestions for anything else sort of like this, give me those as well. I'm more than happy to do some more fun time stuff. But anyway, God bless you, peoples. I'll be back at some stage. Be good, be safe, be happy, be lucky. And peace, my geezers. Blueco out. Always.